قربك، وأن توزعني شكرك، وأن تلهمني ذكرك. اللهم إني أسألك سؤال خاضع متذلل خاشع، أن تسامحني وترحمني وتجعلني بقسمك راضيا قانعا، وفي جميع الأحوال متواضعا. اللهم وأسألك سؤال من اشتدت فاقته وأنزل بك عند الشدائد حاجته، وعظم فيما عندك رغبته. اللهم عظم سلطانك وعلى مكانك، وخفي مكرك وظهر أمرك، وغلب قهرك وجرت قدرتك، ولا يمكن الفرار من حكومتك. اللهم لا أجد لذنوبي غافرا، ولا لقبائحي ساترا، ولا لشيء من عملي القبيح بالحسن مبدلا غيرك. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك وبحمدك. ظلمت نفسي وتجرأت بجهلي، وسكنت إلى قديم ذكرك لي ومنك علي. اللهم مولاي، كم من قبيح سترته، وكم من فادح من البلاء قلته، وكم من عثار وقيته، وكم من مكروه دفعته، وكم من ثناء جميل لست أهلا له نشرته. اللهم عظم بلائي وأفرط بي سوء حالي، وقصرت بي أعمالي، وقعدت بي أغلالي، وحبسني عن نفعي بعد أملي، وخدعتني الدنيا بغرورها، ونفسي بجنايتها ومطالي. يا سيدي، فأسألك بعزتك ألا يحجب عنك دعائي سوء عملي وفعالي، ولا تفضحني بخفي ما اطلعت عليه من سري، ولا تعاجلني بالعقوبة على ما عملته في خلواتي من سوء فعلي وإساءتي، ودوام تفريطي وجهالتي، وكثرة شهواتي وغفلتي. وكن اللهم بعزتك لي في كل الأحوال رؤوفا، وعلي في جميع الأمور عطوفا. إلهي وربي، من لي غيرك؟ أسأله كشف ضري والنظر في أمري. إلهي ومولاي، أجريت علي حكما اتبعت فيه هوى نفسي، ولم أحترس فيه من تزيين عدوي، فغرني بما أهوى وأسعده على ذلك القضاء، فتجاوزت بما جرى علي من ذلك بعض حدودك، وخالفت بعض أوامرك، فلك الحمد علي في جميع ذلك. ولا حجة لي فيما جرى علي فيه قضاؤك، وألزمني حكمك وبلاؤك. وقد أتيتك يا إلهي بعد تقصيري وإسرافي على نفسي، معتذرا نادما منكسرا مستقيلا، مستغفرا منيبا، مقرا مذعنا معترفا. لا أجد مفرا مما كان مني، ولا مفزعا أتوجه إليه في أمري، غير قبولك عذري وإدخالك إياي في سعة رحمتك. اللهم فاقبل عذري، وارحم شدة ضري، وفكني من شدي وثاقي. يا رب ارحم ضعف بدني، ورقة جلدي، ودقة عظمي. يا من بدأ خلقي وذكري وتربيتي وبري وتغذيتي، هبني لابتداء كرمك وسالفي برك بي، يا إلهي وسيدي وربي تراك معذبي بنارك بعد توحيدك، وبعد ما انطوى عليه قلبي من معرفتك، ولهج به لساني من ذكرك، واعتقده ضميري من حبك، وبعد صدق اعترافي ودعائي خاضعا لربوبيتك. هيهات، أنت أكرم من أن تضيع من ربيت، أو تبعد من أدنيت، أو تشرد من آويت، أو تسلم إلى البلاء من كفيته ورحمت. وليت شعري يا سيدي وإلهي ومولاي أتسلط النار على وجوه خرت لعظمتك ساجدة، وعلى ألسن نطقت بتوحيدك صادقة، وبشكرك مادحة، وعلى قلوب اعترفت بإلهيتك محققة، وعلى ضمائر حوت من العلم بك حتى صارت خاشعة، وعلى جوارح سعت إلى أوطان تعبدك طائعة، وأشارت باستغفارك مذعنة. ما هكذا الظن بك، ولا أخبرنا بفضلك عنك يا كريم يا رب، وأنت تعلم ضعفي عن قليل من بلاء الدنيا وعقوباتها، وما يجري فيها من المكاره على أهلها، على أن ذلك بلاء ومكروه، قليل مكثوه، يسير بقاؤه، قصير مدته. فكيف احتمالي لبلاء الآخرة وجليل وقوع المكاره فيها، وهو بلاء تطول مدته ويدوم مقامه ولا يخفف عن أهله، لأنه لا يكون إلا عن غضبك وانتقامك وسخطك، وهذا ما لا تقوم له السماوات والأرض يا سيدي. فكيف لي وأنا عبدك الضعيف الذليل الحقير المسكين المستكين؟ يا إلهي وربي وسيدي ومولاي، لأي الأمور إليك أشكو، ولما منها ضج وأبكي، لأليم العذاب وشدته أم لطول البلاء ومدته؟ فلئن صيرتني للعقوبات مع أعدائك، وجمعت بيني وبين أهل بلائك، وفرقت بيني وبين أحبائك وأوليائك، فابني يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي وربي، صبرت على عذابك، فكيف أصبر على فراقك؟ وهبني صبرت على حر نارك، فكيف أصبر عن النظر إلى كرامتك؟ أم كيف أسكن في النار ورجائي عفوك؟ فبعزتك يا سيدي ومولاي أقسم صادقا، لئن تركتني ناطقا لأضجن إليك بين أهلها ضجيج الآملين، ولأصرخن إليك صراخ المستصرخين، ولأبكين عليك بكاء الفاقدين، ولأنادينك أين كنت يا ولي المؤمنين، يا غاية آمال العارفين، يا غياث المستغيثين، يا حبيب قلوب الصادقين، ويا إله العالمين. أفتراك سبحانك يا إلهي وبحمدك تسمع فيها صوت عبد مسلم سجن فيها بمخالفته، وذاق طعم عذابها بمعصيته، وحبس بين أطباقها بجرمه وجريرته، وهو يضج إليك ضجيج مؤمل لرحمتك، ويناديك بلسان أهل توحيدك، ويتوسل إليك بربوبيتك. يا مولاي، فكيف يبقى في العذاب وهو يرجو ما سلف من حلمك؟ أم كيف تؤلمه النار وهو يأمل فضلك ورحمتك؟ أم كيف يحرقه لهيبها وأنت تسمع صوته وترى مكانه؟ أم كيف يشتمل عليه زفيرها وأنت تعلم ضعفه؟ أم كيف يتقلقل بين أطباقها وأنت تعلم صدقه؟ أم كيف تزجره زبانيتها وهو يناديك يا ربه؟ أم كيف يرجو فضلك في عتقه منها فتترك فيها؟ هيهات، ما ذلك الظن بك ولا المعروف من فضلك ولا مشبه لما عاملت به الموحدين من برك وإحسانك. فباليقين أقطع لولا ما حكمت به من تعذيب جاحديك وقضيت به من إخلاد معانديك لجعلت النار كلها بردا وسلاما وما كان لأحد فيها مقرا ولا مقاما. لكنك تقدست أسماؤك أقسمت أن تملأها من الكافرين من الجنة والناس أجمعين وأن تخلد فيها المعاندين. وأنت جل ثناؤك قلت مبتدئا وتطولت بالإنعام متكرما أفمن كان مؤمنا كمن كان فاسقا لا يستوون. إلهي وسيدي، فأسألك بالقدرة التي قدرتها وبالقضية التي حتمتها وحكمتها وغلبت من علي أجريتها أن تهب لي في هذه الليلة وفي هذه الساعة كل جرم أجرمته وكل ذنب أذنبته وكل قبيح أسررته وكل جهل عملته كتمته أو أعلنته أخفيته أو أظهرته وكل سيئة أمرت بإثباتها الكرام الكاتبين الذين وكلتهم بحفظ ما يكون مني وجعلتهم شهودا علي مع جوارحي وكنت أنت الرقيب علي من ورائهم والشاهد لما خفي عنهم وبرحمتك أخفيته وبفضلك سترته وأن توفر حظي من كل خير أنزلته أو إحسان فضلته أو بر نشرته أو رزق بسطته أو ذنب تغفره أو خطأ تستره. يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي ومالك رقي يا من بيده ناصيتي يا عليما بضري ومسكنتي يا خبيرا بفقري وفاقتي يا ربي يا ربي يا رب أسألك بحقك وقدسك وأعظم صفاتك وأسمائك أن تجعل أوقاتي من الليل والنهار بذكرك معمورة وبخدمتك موصولة وأعمالي عندك مقبولة حتى تكون أعمالي وأورادي كلها وردا واحدا وحالي في خدمتك سرمدا. يا سيدي يا من عليه معولي يا من إليه شكوت أحوالي يا ربي يا ربي يا رب قو على خدمتك جوارحي واشدد على العزيمة جوانحي وأبلي الجد في خشيتك والدوام في الاتصال بخدمتك حتى أسرح إليك في ميادين السابقين وأسرع إليك في البارزين وأشتاق إلى قربك في المشتاقين وأدنو منك دنو المخلصين وأخافك مخافة الموقنين وأجتمع في جوارك مع المؤمنين. اللهم ومن أرادني بسوء فأرد ومن كادني فكد واجعلني من أحسن عبيدك نصيبا عندك وأقربهم منزلة منك وخصهم زلفة لديك، فإنه لا ينال ذلك إلا بفضلك. وجد لي بجودك، واعطف علي بمجدك، واحفظني برحمتك، واجعل لساني بذكرك لهجا، وقلبي بحبك متيما، ومن علي بحسن إجابتك، واقلني عثرتي واغفر زلتي، فإنك قضيت على عبادك بعبادتك، وأمرتهم بدعائك، وضمنت لهم الإجابة. فإليك يا ربي نصبت وجهي، وإليك يا ربي مددت يدي، فبعزتك استجب لي دعائي، وبلغني مناي، ولا تقطع من فضلك رجائي، واكفني شر الجن والإنس من أعدائي. يا سريع الرضا اغفر لمن لا يملك إلا الدعاء، فإنك فعال لما تشاء. يا من اسمه دواء، وذكره شفاء، وطاعته غنى، ارحم من رأس ماله الرجاء، وسلاحه البكاء. يا سابغ النعم، يا دافع النقم، يا نور المستوحشين في الظلام، يا عالما لا يعلم، صل على محمد وآل محمد، وافعل بما أنت أهله. وصلى الله على رسوله والأئمة الميامين من آله، وسلم تسليما كثيرا.
درود بر محمد و آل محمد. اللهم صل علی محمد و آل محمد. امام رضا علیہ السلام، امام محمد باقر علیہ السلام کے ماتمدار میرے سامنے بیٹھے ہوئے ہیں. ماتمداروں سے خطاب ہے. ہو نہیں سکتے شکستہ ہاتھ ماتمدار کے، ہو نہیں سکتے شکستہ ہاتھ ماتمدار کے، ہیں فدائے ابن زہرا ہاتھ ماتمدار کے. وہ کس طرف بڑھنا ہے ان کو اور کس انداز سے، کس طرف بڑھنا ہے ان کو اور کس انداز سے، جانتے ہیں اپنا رستہ ہاتھ ماتمدار کے. ظلم سے انکار ہر دم ناصر مظلوم ہے، ظلم سے انکار ہر دم ناصر مظلوم ہے. رکھ سلامت میرے مولا ہاتھ ماتمدار کے. او مریض بغض حیدر ایک ہے تیرا علاج. پہلے کہتے تھے ان کا علاج کوئی نہیں ہے لیکن ایک علاج ہے. او مریض بغض حیدر ایک ہے تیرا علاج، فرش غم پہ چوم لے جا ہاتھ ماتمدار کے. فرش غم پہ چوم لے جا ہاتھ ماتمدار کے. او ہو نہیں سکتی مسلط دین پر فکر یزید، ہو نہیں سکتی مسلط دین پر فکر یزید. روکتے ہیں اس کا رستہ ہاتھ ماتمدار کے. او چہرہ ظلم پہ لگتے ہیں تماچوں کی طرح، چہرہ ظلم پہ لگتے ہیں تماچوں کی طرح. ظلم کو کرتے ہیں رسوا ہاتھ ماتمدار کے. او جائے نماز غم ہے سینہ اور نوحہ ہے آذاں، جائے نماز غم ہے سینہ اور نوحہ ہے آزاں، کرتے ہیں سینے پہ سجدہ ہاتھ ماتم دار کے۔ اللہم صلی علی محمد۔ جائے نماز غم ہے سینہ اور نوحہ ہے آزاں، کرتے ہیں سینہ پہ سجدہ ہاتھ ماتم دار کے۔ ہو نہیں سکتا فشار قبر تجھ کو اے کلیم، ہو نہیں سکتا فشار قبر آپ سب کو اے کلیم، لائے ہیں تیرا جنازہ ہاتھ ماتم دار کے۔ ہو نہیں سکتے شکستہ ہاتھ ماتم دار کے۔ درود بر محمد و آل محمد۔
محمد و آل محمد صلوات اللہم صلی علی محمد و آل محمد۔ آج کی مجلس کے اسپانسر ہمارے مسرور بھائی، ان کی والدہ کے لیے، اور سیدہ نسیم فاطمہ جعفری بنت سید اصغر علی جعفری کے لیے ایک سورہ فاتحہ پڑھ دیں۔ بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم۔ ایاک نعبد و ایاک نستعین، اہدنا الصراط المستقیم صراط الذین انعمت علیہم۔ اور محمد و آل محمد صلوات اللہم صلی علی محمد و بہت مختصراً ایک کلام کے چند اشعار، کیونکہ آج حضرت مسلم بن عقیل کی شہادت کی مجلس ہے، اور پانچویں امام باقر علیہ السلام کی بھی، تو میں سلام کے چند اشعار جو ہے نا پیش کرنا چاہوں گا۔ ایک مرتبہ پھر آواز بلند صلوات اللہم صلی علی محمد و آل محمد۔
کہا شبیر نے غازی وہ دیکھو جانب کوفہ، میرا مسلم اکیلا ہے۔ کہا شبیر نے غازی۔
ایک روایت ہے کہ امام حسین نے سلام کا جواب دیا تو حضرت عباس نے پوچھا کہ بھئی آپ نے کس لیے جواب دیا؟ تو امام حسین نے بتایا کہ اس وقت دیکھو میری انگلیوں کے درمیان، اور پھر حضرت مسلم کی شہادت کا سارا واقعہ، تو اسی کو بیان کیا شاعر نے۔
کہا شبیر نے غازی وہ دیکھو جانب کوفہ، میرا مسلم اکیلا ہے۔ نہ کوئی مونس سویا نہ کوئی پاس ہے بیٹا، میرا مسلم اکیلا ہے۔ کہا شبیر نے غازی ارے وہ دیکھو جانب کوفہ، میرا مسلم اکیلا ہے۔ نہ کوئی مون سویا نہ کوئی پاس ہے بیٹا، میرا مسلم اکیلا ہزاروں مارنے والے ہیں، مسلم اکیلا ہے، رہ کوفی چار جانب، نہیں ہے کوئی بھی اپنا، میرا مسلم اکیلا ہے۔ کہا شبیر نے غازی، ارے وہ دیکھو جانب کوفہ، میرا مسلم اکیلا ہے۔ اور بڑی دشوار منزل ہے، کبھی ایسا نہ وقت آئے، ارے وطن سے دور غربت میں کوئی ایسے نہ دکھ پائے، ارے رقیہ ہونے والی ہے ابھی کچھ دیر میں بیوہ، میرا مسلم اکیلا ہے۔ ارے کہا شبیر نے غازی، ارے وہ دیکھو جانب کوفہ، میرا مسلم اکیلا ہے۔ اور جو میرے دل پہ گزری ہے انہیں بتلا نہیں سکتا، ارے تمہاری بیٹیوں کے ساتھ کوفہ جا نہیں سکتا، ارے بچا لے میرے بھائی کو، نجف نزدیک ہے بابا، میرا مسلم اکیلا ہے۔ کہا شبیر نے غازی، ارے وہ دیکھو جانب کوفہ، میرا مسلم اکیلا ہے۔ کہا شبیر نے غازی، ارے وہ دیکھو جانب کوفہ، میرا مسلم اکیلا ہے۔ اور کٹے ہونٹوں کا اس کے خون جب پانی میں گرتا ہے، ارے گرا کر جام پانی کو بڑی حسرت سے تکتا ہے، ارے نہ جانے کتنا زخمی ہے، نہ جانے کب سے ہے پیاسا، میرا مسلم اکیلا ہے۔ کہا شبیر نے غازی، ارے وہ دیکھو جانب کوفہ، میرا مسلم اکیلا ہے۔ اور نظر آتے نہیں عباس کو مسلم کے شہزادے، ارے محمد اور ابراہیم اس کے ساتھ نکلے تھے، ارے کہاں پر کھو گئے دونوں، نہ جانے کیا ہوا ایسا، میرا مسلم اکیلا ہے۔ ارے کہا شبیر نے غازی، یہ کل تک ساتھ تھے اس کے، ابھی سب ہو گئے باغی، ارے سفیر ابن حیدر کی عجب غربت گئے غازی، سفیر ابن حیدر کی عجب غربت یہ غازی، کوئی گھر سے نہیں نکلا، صدا دیتی رہی زغرا، میرا مسلم اکیلا ہے، کہا شبیر نے غازی، وہ دیکھو جانب کوفہ، میرا مسلم اکیلا ہے، او میرے عباس غازی کی بہن کا ہے یہاں روزہ، ارے تیرے پرسے کو مولا میں تو کوفہ نہیں سکتا، میں بی بی پاک دامن کو تیرا نوحہ سناؤں گا، میرا مسلم اکیلا ہے، کہا شبیر نے غازی، وہ دیکھو جانب کوفہ، میرا مسلم اکیلا ہے، اور لپٹ کر شہر کے قدموں سے کہا غازی نے اے مولا، ارے مجھے پہنچا دے کوفہ تو بدل دوں گا شہر کا نقشہ، ارے غریبی پر میرے بھائی کی سارا شہر ہے ہنستا، میرا مسلم اکیلا ہے، ارے کہا شبیر نے غازی، وہ دیکھو جانب کوفہ، میرا مسلم اکیلا ہے، اور کہا اکبر یہ رو رو کر شہر والا نے غازی سے، وہ دیکھو بیٹھی ہیں اماں وہاں، دامن کو پھیلائے، سرے مسلم کو سینے سے لگائے کہ کہتی ہے زہرا، میرا مسلم اکیلا ہے، کہا شبیر نے غازی، کہا شبیر نے غازی، ارے وہ دیکھو جانب کوفہ، میرا مسلم اکیلا ہے، ارے نہ کوئی مونس و یاور، نہ کوئی پاس ہے بیٹا، میرا مسلم اکیلا ہے، کہا شبیر نے غازی، محمد و آل محمد صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم، صلی علی محمد و آل محمد، فاتحہ۔
رضا امام باقر کی شہادت کی مجلس بھی ہے، تو میں مرثیہ امام باقر کا صرف 3-4 منزل اور محمد آل محمد صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم صلی اللہ صرف 3 یا 4 منزل.
حشر برپا ہے مدینے میں، قیامت ہے قریب. حشر برپا ہے مدینے میں، قیامت ہے قریب. ارے باقر علم نبی کا دم رحلت ہے قریب. او فاطمہ پیٹتی گئے سر کو وہ آفت ہے قریب. ارے روح شبیر تڑپتی ہے شہادت ہے قریب. روح شبیر تڑپتی ہے شہادت ہے قریب. ارے کنبہ رونے کے لیے آل کے گھر آ پہنچا. ہائے اثر زغر دغا تاب جگر آ پہنچا. اثر زغر دغا تاب جگر آ پہنچا. ارے لو یہ کون آئے رویت کو دم آنکھوں میں رکا. تسلیم کو یہ ہاتھ اٹھا باقر کا. ارے کون یہ بی بی ہے کرتی ہوئی آہیں جو بکا. ارے گھر گھر سب رونے لگے آل میں کوہرام مچا. گھر میں سب رونے لگے آل میں کوہرام مچا. ارے شبر و حیدر زہرا و نبی روتے ہیں. ارے اپنے پوتے کو حسین ابن علی روتے ہیں. اپنے پوتے کو حسین ابن علی روتے ہیں. اور غل مدینے میں ہوا ہائے سدھارے باقر. ارے اٹھ گئے گلشن ہستی سے ہمارے باقر. ارے بستے تو سلاسل کے دلارے باقر. ارے روح شبر کا ہے نوغہ میرے پیارے باقر. روح شبر کا ہے نوغہ میرے پیارے باقر. زہر کس چال سے غدار نے بھیجا کٹ گیا میری طرح تیرا کلیجہ. کٹ گیا میری طرح تیرا کلیجہ. افسوس حشر برپا ہے. محمد آل محمد بعد بلند صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم صلی اللہ محمد
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين بارئ الخلائق أجمعين باعث الأنبياء والمرسلين، ثم الصلاة والسلام على خير خلقه العبد المؤيد والرسول المسدد حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين وصحابته المنتجبين. قال الله تعالى في كتابه الكريم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم: ومن الناس من يعبد الله على حرف فإن أصابه خير اطمأن به وإن أصابته فتنة انقلب على وجهه خسر الدنيا والآخرة ذلك هو الخسران المبين. صدق الله العلي العظيم. What is the meaning of hypocrisy? Hypocrisy is to conceal certain feelings inside and show something else, show other emotions and sentiments from outside. Pretending to be something you're not, to believe in something inside but to portray something else. Hypocrisy is something real. There are hypocrites. I know some, you know some. Hypocrites have always existed. We see them every day. Hypocrisy was a major obstacle, a major challenge in the beginning of Islam. From the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wa alihi. Many people converted to Islam, yet not all of them were real. Not all of them were genuine. Some were hypocrites. They converted for worldly reasons. Either they had a hidden agenda, they had a hidden motive, there was a purpose, there was a reason why they converted. Maybe some of them converted out of fear of persecution. Although that was unjustified because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wa did not force anyone to accept Islam. And those who didn't, Rasulullah didn't hurt them, he didn't confiscate their lands or money. No. Hypocrisy was a major phenomenon and it was real. Hypocrites existed. That is why we have an entire chapter in the Quran called Surat Al-Munafiqun. Surat Al-Munafiqin. Alaykum as-salam wa rahmatullah. Al-Munafiqun. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. إذا جاءك المنافقون قالوا نشهد أنك لرسول الله والله يعلم أنك لرسوله والله يشهد أن المنافقين لكاذبون. Munafiqeen, they come to Rasulullah and they tell you that we bear witness you're Allah's messenger, and Allah knows that you're his messenger, but Allah testifies that hypocrites are liars. Surah Bara'ah, Bara'atun min Allah, or also known as Surah Tawbah. It came to expose the hypocrites amongst Muslims, especially in Medina. وَمِمَّنْ حَوْلَكُمْ مِنَ الْأَعْرَابِ مُنَافِقُونَ. Allah tells his messenger that in Medina there are some amongst you, they're hypocrites. وَمِنْ أَهْلِ الْمَدِينَةِ مَرَدُوا عَلَى النِّفَاقِ. From the people of Medina, they have stuck to hypocrisy. لَا تَعْلَمُهُمْ. You don't know them. نَحْنُ نَعْلَمُهُمْ. But we know them. There are hypocrites around you. They surround you. They're conspiring against you. You don't know them. يحذر المنافقون أن تنزل عليهم سورة تنبئهم بما في قلوبهم. Hypocrites were very cautious that Jibreel might bring down, reveal a verse exposing them. They were afraid of being exposed. They were afraid that at any moment Jibreel will bring down a verse that exposes them. There was a group in Medina led by Abdullah ibn Ubay, or known as Ibn Salul. Abdullah ibn Ubay was the head of hypocrites, and they would conspire. They would conspire with Quraysh. They would conspire with the Jews in the Arabian Peninsula, in Medina and outside of Medina. They were constantly conspiring against Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. We have a hadith that says that when Uthman ibn Affan became the head, he became the outer Khalifa, Abu Sufyan, he came to congratulate Uthman. Abu Sufyan had lost his eyesight. At this time, he had lost his eyesight. When they closed the door, he asked, "Are there any strangers?" They told him, "No, Ya Abu Sufyan. You can speak freely. It is only us, Bani Umayyah." He said, "تلقفوها Ya Bani Umayyah, تلقفوها تلقف الكرة." Catch it like a ball and keep it in your hands. don't give it to anyone anymore. He's speaking about what? Sports? He's speaking about the khilafah, imamah. For him, it's a game. For him, it was like a ball. Keep the ball in your court. Don't give it to anyone else. And then he says, فَوَالَّذِي يَحْلِفُ بِهِ Abu Sufyan. By the one that Abu Sufyan swears by him. Oh, he doesn't say Allah. He just says by the one that Abu Sufyan swears by him. مَا مِنْ عَذَابٍ وَلَا حِسَابٍ. There's no punishment. There's no the day of judgment. وَلَا جَنَّةٍ وَلَا نَارٍ. None of this. All of that you've been hearing, these are lies. وَلَا بَعْث وَلَا قِيَامَةٍ. There's no day of judgment. There's no day of reckoning, day of being held accountable. So we see that hypocrisy and hypocrites stemmed from the early days, from the top hierarchies and coming down. However, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not expose these hypocrites. He did not expose them. Why? Because Islam was still fragile. Islam was still fragile. Islam had only small numbers. Islam could not go through a civil war. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam needed all the numbers that he could get, all of the followers that he could get, even if some of them were what? Hypocrites. That was fine. He didn't expose them. Exposing these hypocrites was left to another time, to another era, to another period, as we shall see later on. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Now, hypocrisy, my dear friends, is of several kinds. There's several kinds of hypocrisy. Number one, there's social hypocrisy. What do I mean by social hypocrisy? You see a person in the masjid, your neighbor, at work, at school, at university. This person says hello, and they're kind, and they're gentle, and they offer to help, but this person's actually two-faced. This person actually hates you, or is jealous of you, or is envious of you. You drive that new Tesla. He says, why can't I afford a new Tesla? You renovate your house. He says, why can't I renovate my house? They'll come and they'll congratulate you on that brand new car, but he wishes that you didn't buy that new car. He wants that new car. There's a lot of people like this. A lot of people are two-faced. They're hypocrites. It could be a friend, maybe a family member, maybe a co-worker, your neighbor. There's a lot of people that have hypocrisy inside. So this is called social hypocrisy. Of course, this doesn't mean that we should be paranoid and accuse everyone of hypocrisy. You know, be suspectful of this person, of that person. I suspect my neighbor of being a hypocrite, or my co-worker of being a hypocrite, or my cousin of being a hypocrite. We accuse everyone of being envious or jealous. This person is very jealous of me. Whenever I succeed, this person wishes that I don't succeed. No. A person who wants to be paranoid and accuse everyone of jealousy or hypocrisy, this person will be left without friends. This person will have to live in isolation. Islam tells us, give people the benefit of the doubt. Give people the benefit of the doubt. يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا اجْتَنِبُوا كَثِيرًا مِنَ الظَّنِّ إِنَّ بَعْضَ الظَّنِّ إِثْمٌ. Oh, you who believe, avoid a lot of suspicion. اجْتَنِبُوا كَثِيرًا مِنَ الظَّنِّ. Because some suspicion is what? A sin. To suspect a friend, a cousin, a co-worker, a neighbor of having hatred or envy or jealousy towards you, this is incorrect. And by the way, there are some people, they have a habit, they blame their failures on envy. Why didn't I get a job? Because there's an evil eye against me. Why did my daughter get divorced? Because our neighbors are jealous of us. Or some people in the masjid, they're jealous of us. Why did I get in a car accident? Because there's an evil eye on me. People are jealous of me. No. It's because you're a horrible driver. That's why you got in a car accident. Your daughter got divorced, not because anyone's envious, because You didn't mind your own business. You got involved in your daughter's life and her husband and your son-in-law, and you got too much involved, and you ruined their marriage. Some people, they blame everything on envy, on jealousy. People are envious of me. They're envious of my success, and that's why I'm failing in my life, and my business failed because, no. We can't blame everything on envy and jealousy. You blame one thing, your car accident, on envy. But your failed business, is that because of envy and jealousy as well? Or your marriage didn't work out, that's because of envy and jealousy. Your son or daughter doesn't have a good relationship with you, that's also because of envy and jealousy. You have to be realistic. Sometimes it's you, sometimes it's us. We're the problem. We can't blame everything. We can't use a scapegoat and try to find an excuse for all of our failures. There are some people that are like this. All of their failures in life, it's because there's an evil eye on me. And people are envious of me or jealous of me, and this is why I'm failing in everything. This is not correct. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. طيب. Some say then, if Islam is against hypocrisy, then why do we have something called mudarat? Our Imams, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they taught us something called mudarat. What is mudarat? To be friendly with people, whether you like them or you don't like them. Your friends and your foes, your enemies, everyone, be friendly. Rasulullah says, أمرني ربي بمدارات الناس كما أمرني بأداء الفرائض. That my Lord commanded me to be friendly with people the same way He commanded me to perform my 5 daily prayers. Be friendly. Take care of people with your akhlaq, by your demeanor. And another hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, ثلاث من لم يكن فيه لم يتم له عمل. 3 things, if you don't have, your a'mal are not accepted. 1, ورع يحجزه عن محاصي الله. To have wara', to have piety. A person has to have piety that forbids him from committing sins. 2, خلق يداري به الناس. He has to have akhlaq, to take care of people, to be friendly, not just with people you like, even with people that you don't like. You have to be friendly. If you're friendly only with people that you like, you don't have good akhlaq. That's not called being friendly. Being friendly is that you're friendly with everyone. Someone you know, someone you don't know. Someone you like, someone you don't like. Even the annoying people in your life, you have to be friendly with them. That's mudarat. That is akhlaq. وَحِلْمٌ يُرَدُّ بِهِ جَهْلَ الْجَاهِلِ. And to have tolerance, so that when someone ignorant attacks you, you're able to take care of that attack. Protect yourself of that attack with tolerance, with patience, with good akhlaq. Some say, if we're supposed to be friendly, that's hypocrisy. How can I be friendly with someone that I don't like? Someone I don't like. How do you expect me to be friendly with them? Yes. This is not hypocrisy. We could be friendly and show akhlaq even with enemies. It's okay to respect. Respecting people, even your enemies, this is not hypocrisy. This is akhlaq. This is what Islam teaches. Some people say, no, I'm very straightforward. I'm very honest. If I don't like something, I tell it to that person's face. If I see a behavior that I don't like, I tell it to that person's face right away. I don't beat around the bush. I tell people as it is. These people, this sort of person, they confuse between honesty and being rude. They think being rude means honesty. No. You could be honest, but at the same time, you be friendly. You don't have to be straightforward, in your face sort of person with people and think that, no, I'm being honest. I'm an honest person. Be an honest person, but you don't have to be rude. Like, what about taqiyya? Isn't taqiyya a form of hypocrisy? We, Shia, followers of Ahl Bayt, we're accused of hypocrisy. They say, you Shia, you're biggest hypocrites. You conceal your faith. Your imams, they taught you to conceal your faith, and that is hypocrisy. Yes. Our imams taught us taqiyya, but taqiyya is not hypocrisy. Imam al-Sadiq, Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam. Who tonight we commemorate his martyrdom and his death. Yes, they taught us taqiyya. But what is taqiyya? Taqiyya is concealing our faith to protect our lives, to protect our wealth, to protect our loved ones. Of course we perform taqiyya. Logic. If you're in a situation where you know you'll be beheaded, you'll go to jail when you confess your true faith, what does logic tell you? Conceal your faith. Logic tells you to conceal your faith. If you go to a masjid, if you pray with your hands down, you know you will get in trouble. What do? You put your hand, you cross your hands in order to save your life, to save your loved ones, to save your wealth. This is logical. This is not hypocrisy. This is a certain case where your life is in danger because it's a necessity. You perform taqiyya. This is not hypocrisy. The Quran tells us, "من كفر بالله من بعد إيمانه إلا من أكره وقلبه مطمئن بالإيمان." Those who disbelieve in Allah, except those who are forced. This verse is speaking about Ammar bin Yasir. Ammar bin Yasir, his parents were killed in front of his eyes. So when he was threatened, he said, "Hubal, Hubal." They didn't kill him. Mushrikeen in Mecca, they didn't kill him. He came crying to Rasulullah. He said, "Ya Rasulullah, I performed shirk. I performed kufr." He told him, "Why?" He said, "Because they were about to kill me. So I said, Hubal." He told him, "Ya Ammar, tell me about your heart. Don't tell me what you said by your tongue. Tell me about your heart. Do you believe in Hubal?" He said, "Of course not. I believe in none other than Allah." And he said, "Ya Ammar, you're fine. And if they put you in a situation similar to that, do what you did again. Do what you did again." Allah tells us about a person from the people of Fir'aun who came and told Musa that there's a conspiracy against you. The Quran says, وَقَالَ رَجُلٌ مُؤْمِنٌ مِنْ آلِ فِرْعَوْنَ يَكْتُمُ إِيمَانَهُ. A believer from the people of Fir'aun concealing his faith, he came and he told Musa that there's a conspiracy against you. Allah calls this person what? رَجُلٌ مُؤْمِن. He's a believer, but he conceals his faith. This is not hypocrisy. This is not hypocrisy. And even those who accuse us, they say, "You Shia, you perform taqiyya, you're hypocrites." If they were to be in the same sort of situation, and they felt their lives are in danger, would they perform taqiyya or no? Of course they would perform taqiyya. Don't accuse people of something that you will perform yourself. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So we have social hypocrisy and we have political hypocrisy. Political hypocrisy is a stage higher. It's more dangerous. It's a more dangerous form of hypocrisy. What do I mean by political hypocrisy? Political hypocrisy is, for example, you call for democracy. Democracy. We promote democracy. We fight for democracy. But which democracy? You come to some countries that have oil. You tell them, promote democracy in these countries. They say, no. Democracy is for other countries. So you pick and choose the countries that you want democracy for. You want to be selective. You pick and choose. The countries that you want to control, you say, let's have democracy. But the countries that you're benefiting from, even if they're dictatorships, that's okay. That's okay. There's no need for democracy in those countries. This is what? This is hypocrisy. This is political hypocrisy. I'll give you another example. Those who speak out against wars. No to war. Let's put an end to war. The war against Ukraine. This is an oppressive war. We need to bring peace into Ukraine. Okay. You're against war? What do you think of Yemen? Have you heard of a country called Yemen? Or no, you've never heard of this country? If you're against war, be fair. Whether it's Ukraine or it's Yemen, stand against war. Don't be selective in your political stands, because that is hypocrisy. That's hypocrisy. Those who say They're against terrorism. We need to rid this country out of terrorism. Good. Yes, I'm with you. But which terrorism? When they say terrorism, they mean who? Islamic terrorism. They call it radical Islamic terrorism. We need to rid this country, the West, from radical terrorism. Okay. So this picture of a terrorist with a beard, long beard, dark skin, this is a terrorist. But what if it's a white terrorist who goes into a school and kills 19 children and 2 teachers in Texas? Is this terrorism or is this not terrorism? Do you see anyone standing against white terror, white terrorism, to ban guns? No. If it's a white terrorist, don't call him a terrorist. It was a crazy person who had issues, who had mental issues, and should have sought help. But if it's a Muslim, no. It's their Islam. It's the Quran. These fanatics, these religious Islamic fanatics. This is hypocrisy. Death is death. The leading cause of death for American children is what? Gun violence. If you're truly against terrorism, come in Congress and ban the use of guns. Come and ban guns. Don't allow the use of guns. Every day there's less and less restrictions on guns. But they say we're against terrorism. And they're selective in their meaning of terrorism. Who do you mean by terrorism? This is political hypocrisy. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. And then the third, there's religious hypocrisy. See, we have social hypocrisy. And then it gets a bit more dangerous. We have political hypocrisy. And then it becomes very dangerous. We have religious hypocrisy. What's religious hypocrisy? This is the most dangerous form of hypocrisy. It's pretending to be religious. Pretending to be religious while inside you're not religious. Pretending to be holy. Or they call it holier than thou. You see some people, when you see them and their approach, when they tell people what to do, you say, subhanAllah, this person has to be, Ali ibn Abi Talib. But this person is far from the akhlaq of Rasulullah and the akhlaq of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Ordering people to do something that you don't. This is hypocrisy. Telling people to abstain from something that which you don't abstain from. This is hypocrisy. The Quran says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, lima taquluna ma la taf'alun. O you who believe, why do you say that which you don't do? This is aib. This is something unacceptable. Religiously unacceptable, socially unacceptable. أشد الناس نفاقا, this hadith says, the people with most hypocrisy, من أمر بطاعة ولا يعمل بها. He who tells people to do something, but he doesn't do it himself. ونهى عن معصية ولم ينتهي عنها. And he who tells people to refrain from this sin, but he doesn't refrain, or she doesn't refrain. This is hypocrisy. One day, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. A woman came to him, a mother came to him. She told him, Ya Rasulullah, my son eats a lot of dates. Dates. Back then, there was no chocolate. There was no M&Ms or Snicker bars. Their Snicker bars was dates. She told him, my son eats too many dates, and I'm afraid he's going to become ill. I don't know, did they discover diabetes? Had they discovered diabetes back then or not? I don't know. She told him, I'm afraid for my son's health. He eats too many dates. I want to bring him to you. You, Ya Rasulullah, speak to him and tell him, don't eat too many dates. Rasulullah smiled. He said, okay, but not today. Tomorrow. She said, okay. The next day he came. Rasulullah told him, my son, do you eat dates? He says, yes, Ya Rasulullah. It's the only food that I enjoy. He said, but it's not good for you. Reduce the amount. He said, khalas. From now on, I'm going to reduce. The mother, she came to Rasulullah. She told him, Ya Rasulullah, why didn't you tell him yesterday? Why did you postpone it today? He said, because yesterday I had eaten dates. I had eaten dates. How can I tell him not to eat when I had eaten just a couple of moments ago? This is hypocritical of me. I can't do this. طيب. That is why you see some preachers, some ulama, some of them are very influential and some of them are not influential at all. What's the difference? You see them, they're both eloquent speakers. In fact, some of them are very eloquent, but they don't have effect on people's lives. And some, you see, he's not a good speaker, but he has an effect on people's lives. Why? Because the first implements what he teaches. He practices what he does. And the other, he could be the most eloquent speaker, but if he doesn't implement what he teaches, he's not going to be influential. He can't influence anyone. طيب. What's the result of religious hypocrisy? If there's religious hypocrisy, if we have religious hypocrites in the community, in our country, in our state, maybe the head of state, what's the result? The result of religious hypocrisy is that people will flee from religion. People will run away from religion. Why? They say, if this is Islam, if these hypocrites represent Islam, I don't want to have anything to do with Islam. This is what happens. When we teach people, but we don't implement, people will say, what's going on? Is this Islam? You teach others and you don't implement yourself. These hypocrites are our leaders, then I don't want to have anything to do with Islam. And they'll run away. They'll run away from faith, from religion. You know, Sayyid Sistani in Iraq, right after the fall of Saddam, he told some of his followers, he told his wukala, his representatives, that here in Iraq, for the government, I don't want to have ulama and religious scholars to be in part of the government. Ministers, big posts, I don't want any of the ulama to participate, anyone from the Hawza to participate. Why? Because when these people, they reach high places in government, can they become corrupt or not? Of course, because politics corrupts. You can be the cleanest person, but if you don't have religious immunity, politics can corrupt you. When a scholar becomes corrupted with politics, what happens? People say, look at these ulama. Look at these ulama. Look at what they do. And if this is Islam, then we don't want to have anything to do with Islam. Because what they do will be reflective of their faith, of their school of thought, of their religion. So, Sayyid Sistani had in his mind the protection of Islam. So that Islam remains clean and pure. He said, religious scholars cannot become politicians. Let them avoid politics. Because it is reflective of their faith. Of course, this is not those who judge religion based on individuals. This is not correct. Religion is not judged based upon individuals. Individuals are infallible. We're human beings, we can sin. We can commit errors. You cannot judge a school of thought or a religion based on individuals. You judge that religion based upon what? Its teachings, the Quran, the books, not based on individuals. During the battle of Al-Jamal, a man came to Rasulullah a man came to Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam, said, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, who are we fighting? This is Aisha, the wife of Rasulullah. This is Talha and Zubayr, the companions of Rasulullah. Who are we fighting? Amir al-Mu'mineen told him, poor you. Poor you. إنه ملبوس عليك. You are confused. إن الحق والباطل لا يعرفان بالناس. Truthhood and falsehood cannot be defined by individuals. You don't see this individual and you say, truthhood is on this path or falsehood is on that path. No. ولكن اعرف الحق تعرف أهله. Know the truth, you will know who is standing beside the truth. Know falsehood, and you will know who is standing beside falsehood. Don't interpret falsehood and truth with individuals. It should be the other way around. Know the truth, and you will know, is this lady or this man standing with the truth or not standing with the truth? People don't represent religion. People could misrepresent religion. We judge religion based on its teachings, based on its scripture, not based on its adherents. A man, a scholar, traveled to Europe. Say Jamal al-Din al-Afghani. He traveled to Europe and then he came back to Egypt. They told him, what did you see in Egypt? What did you see in Europe? He said, I saw Islam, but without Muslims. And in Egypt, I see Muslims, but without Islam. I see Muslims, but no Islam. Over there, I saw Islam, but without Muslims. So people don't represent faith because individuals, humans, they can err. They can commit mistakes. Also, my dear friends, we should never generalize. If we see, for example, a scholar, a alim, or a religious individual who turns out to be hypocritical, or a alim that turns out to be hypocritical, or a political group that adheres to Islam but they turn out to be hypocritical, we shouldn't generalize. We shouldn't say all religious people are hypocrites, or all scholars are hypocrites, all ulama are hypocrites. This is not fair. We shouldn't generalize. We cannot punish all for the mistake of some. It's not fair. That wouldn't be fair. Look at the Quran. The Quran doesn't generalize. The Quran says, وَمِنْ أَهْلِ الْكِتَابِ مَنْ إِن تَأْمَنْهُ بِقِنْطَارٍ يُؤَدِّهِ إِلَيْكَ وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ إِن تَأْمَنْهُ بِدِينَارٍ لَا يُؤَدِّهِ إِلَيْكَ. He says, from the people of the book are whom? Christians, Jews. He says there are some, if you give them a treasure chest, if you trust them with a treasure chest, they'll bring it back to you. They'll give it back to you. And some of them, if you trust them with 1 dinar, they won't give it back to you. You see how the Quran says there's this type of people and that type of people. The Quran doesn't generalize. The Quran doesn't say that all people of the book are crooks and thieves. Nor does it say that they are all trustworthy. The Quran says there's this type of people and that type of people. We have to be careful in categorizing and giving characteristics or qualities of a group of people. We have to be very careful, and we do not generalize. طيب. The psychology of hypocrisy. صلوا على محمد وعلى محمد. What causes people to be hypocrites? No one likes hypocrites. Inshallah, we're not among the hypocrites. And by the way, there's a hadith that says there is something that kicks out, removes hypocrisy from the heart. What is it? Saying salawat with a loud voice. No one likes hypocrisy. Everyone runs away from hypocrisy. We try to run away from this quality. But what causes it? You know, if we have doctors in the room, every illness has reasons. Diabetes has a reason. High cholesterol level has a reason. Every illness has a reason. What is the reason behind hypocrisy? Why are some people, they're inclined to become hypocrites? There's a couple of reasons. There's a couple of theories. One theory says force. When you use force against someone, they'll resort to hypocrisy. For example, if you force your daughter to wear hijab, you force her, physically force her, you scare her. When she grows up, as soon as she leaves the house and you're not watching, she's going to take off the hijab. She comes back home, she puts on the hijab again. This is what? This is hypocrisy. She wears it only when she's afraid. When she's not afraid, she takes it off. Instead of forcing her, convince her of what is hijab, the beauty of hijab, the importance of hijab, the philosophy of hijab. Or you force your son to pray, salah, force, physically force. When you're not watching, he's not going to pray. He only prays when you're watching, when you're at home. This is what? Hypocrisy. You're teaching him to become a hypocrite. Instead of forcing him to pray, convince him to pray. Teach him the beauty of salah, the meaning of salah, why salah is important. This is one theory. So one theory says that force causes hypocrisy. Another theory says it's the way we look at ourselves. When we don't look at our faults, and we hold others accountable, but we don't hold ourselves accountable. we ridicule others for something that we do. For example, my brother, he wakes up at 12 at noon. I mock him every day. He sleeps in, he doesn't get up early. Guess what? I also wake up at 12 at noon. I don't look at my own fault. I make fun of my brother or my cousin or people at the masjid. You know, there are some people, they come in late all the time to the majlis. And I'm always late at the majlis. I don't hold myself accountable, but I hold others accountable. And I make excuses for myself. It's as if, you know, when I do it, no, it's different when I do it. But when others do it, no, they should be held accountable. This is hypocrisy. Where does it stem from? By not holding myself accountable. Before judging others, I have to judge myself. You know, and you see this, maybe even with a husband and wife. For example, a husband tells his wife that you cut me off. Whenever I'm speaking, you cut me off. I'm speaking to my relatives, to my mother, and you intrude, you interrupt me. She tells him, guess what? You do it too all the time. You also do it. The problem is when I look at other people's faults and I don't look at my fault and I judge them. And this is, in psychology, this is called projection. When I don't want to look at my faults, or when I don't want people to judge me for my faults, I judge others. This is called projection. Projection. I notice other people's faults and I ridicule for them. I ridicule them for it. I have to start with myself. I have to start for myself. Another theory on hypocrisy, they say that hypocrisy stems from the desire to be liked. Because I want everyone to like me, so I have to pretend to act in a sort of way so that he likes me and you like me and you like me and everyone likes me. How do I get everyone to like me? I have to satisfy everyone. This person likes spicy food, so I have to pretend I like spicy food. This person likes sushi, so I have to pretend I like sushi. Well, I despise sushi, for example. By the way, I don't. I like sushi. So if you ever want to bring me a gift, you know what to bring me. And so on and so forth. The desire to be liked by everyone, so I have to satisfy to everyone's needs and pretend and to act. This will cause hypocrisy. While we shouldn't try to be liked by everyone. No. There's only one that has to like us. If he likes us, then it doesn't matter. And who is that? Allah Azza wa Jal. If Allah likes me, then it doesn't matter if no one likes me. Imam Hussein alayhi salam. In Dua Arafah that we'll be reciting tomorrow, don't forget to recite Dua Arafah. I don't know if you're reciting it here or not. But even if you're not reciting it here, recite it at home. Tomorrow is the day of Arafah. Recite this beautiful dua by Imam Hussein. In my opinion, we have so many du'as. We have Dua al-Kumayl that we just recited. Dua al-Sabah. Dua Abu Hamza al-Thamali by Imam Zain Abidin that we recited in the month of Ramadan. We have so many du'as. But the most powerful, the most beautiful dua that came from Ahlul Bayt was the dua of the day of Arafah by Imam Hussein alayhi salam. He said it 1 year before the day of Ashura. 1 year before Ashura. Dua Arafah. In this dua he says, Ilahi, in lam yakun bika alayya ghadabun fala ubali. Oh Allah, if you're not angry with me, then I don't care. Let the entire world be angry with me, as long as you're not angry with me. Khalas. The desire to please everyone, you can't please everyone. One day, Musa alayhi salam told him, Ya Allah, I have a request. He told him, what's the request? He said, let people be pleased with me. I want people to be pleased with me. He told him, Ya Musa, this is a quality that I don't have. You want me to give it to you? There's people that are not pleased with God, with Allah. He said, some people are not pleased with me. You want to be pleased? You want people to be pleased with you? Something that I don't have. You want me to give it to you? There's no way you can please everyone. طيب. The verse that I started with, وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يَعْبُدُ اللَّهَ عَلَى حَرْفٍ. There are some people, they worship Allah on conditions. يَعْبُدُ اللَّهَ عَلَى حَرْفٍ, conditions. Some people would come to Rasulullah, they told him, Ya Rasulullah, we'll be Muslims, we'll be good if my business goes well. You know, if there's harvest, if it starts raining, and my farms are doing good, and my business does good, I remain Muslim. But if I don't see anything good from Islam, see you later. By the way, and this is not just 14 centuries ago, till today, some people, you see them, they come to the masjid, they come to the mosque, they donate to your new center. If their business is doing good, if everything's going well for them, if something goes down for them, you don't see them again. No more masjid, no more dua kumayt, no more salat al-jum'ah, and they forget Allah Azza wa Jal. It's a one-sided relationship. If they see benefit from Islam, if they see a benefit from coming to the mosque, they're good with Allah Azza wa Jal. But if they're not benefiting, if business is not doing so well, they could forget it. They have nothing to do with Islam. They have nothing to do with Imam Hussein. They have nothing to do with the followers of Ahl al-Bayt. Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam says, Ilahi, ma abadtuka hina abadtuk tama'an fi jannatik. My Lord, when I worshipped you, I didn't worship you because of heaven. It wasn't because of heaven. وَلَا خَوْفًا مِن نَارِكَ. And I didn't worship you out of fear of hellfire. Doesn't make a difference for me. I didn't worship you because of heaven, and nor did I worship you out of fear of hell. وَإِنَّمَا وَجَدْتُكَ أَهْلًا لِلْعِبَادَةِ فَعَبَدْتُكَ. I found you worthy of being worshipped, so I worshipped you. Because you were worthy of being worshipped. Because you are you and I am I. Because you're the creator and I'm the created. Because you're the sustainer and I'm the sustained. Of course, this relationship entails that I worship you. Not because I want your heaven or I'm afraid of your hell. And Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Imam Hussein alayhi salam says, النَّاسُ عَبِيدُ الدُّنْيا. People are slaves of this dunya. وَالدِّينُ لَعِقٌ عَلَىٰ أَلْسِنَتِهِمْ. Religion is only something they say by their tongue. They don't implement in their actions. يَحُوطُونَهُ مَا دَرَّتْ مَعَايِشُهُمْ. They're only religious if they're doing good, if their business is good, their family is good, their religion are good. If they're doing good, they're religious. فَإِذَا مُحْصُوا بِالْبَلَاءِ. But if they're tested, if Allah tests them, قَلَّ الدَّيَّانُونَ. Then the religious, they reduce. If there's a real test, you see a reduction. Like Muslim ibn Aqil when he entered Masjid al-Kufa. When he entered Masjid al-Kufa on the 8th of the Hijjah, Salat al-Maghrib, Masjid al-Kufa was full. There's no danger. But as soon as they heard there's danger behind praying behind Muslim ibn Aqil, he turned around after Salat al-Maghrib, the masjid was half empty. After Salat al-Isha, it was completely empty. He was abandoned altogether. This is the real test. The test is that you remain true to Ahl al-Bayt, whether you do good or you do bad. Whether you're safe or you're not safe. This is the real test. Muslim leaves. He walks around in the streets of Kufa until he finds a doorstep. He sits on the doorstep. A lady opens the house, طوعة. She opens the door. Ya Abdullah, ma laka tajlus ala babi bayti. Oh, servant of Allah, why are you sitting at my doorstep? He said, Ya Amat Allah, isqini ma'an. Bring me some water. She brought him some water. He drank. She told him, Ya Abdullah, you drank your water. Now, please, don't sit at the doorstep of my house. Go to your family. Go to your clan. Go to your tribe. Told her, Ya Amat Allah, لا عشيرة لي في هذا البلد. I do not have a family in this city. I don't have anyone to go to in this city. I have nowhere to go. She said, "Are you Muslim ibn Aqil?" He said, "Yes, I am Muslim ibn Aqil. غدر بي أهل الكوفة. The people of Kufa have deceived me, have betrayed me." She told him, "Tafaddal, Sayyidi, my master, come inside. Come inside. I did not recognize you. I did not know you. Come inside in my house." He came into her house. He was her guest that night. He spent the entire night in worship, in dua, in salah, until her son came in the middle of the night. Her son worked for Ubaidullah ibn Ziyad. He was part of Ubaidullah ibn Ziyad's army. Immediately he went and he told the enemy that the person you're looking for is in our house. They came, they surrounded Muslim ibn Aqil. Muslim fought very bravely till the last moment, until they dug a trench for Muslim. Muslim fell in the trench. They captured him. They took him to Ubaidullah ibn Ziyad. They beat him along with Hani ibn Urwa. And then he said, "Take him upstairs. Take him to the roof." They took Muslim to the roof. They beat him. They cut his lips off. He was bleeding. He asked for some water. When he was about to drink water, the cup of water was filled with blood. They brought him another cup. Again, it was filled with blood. And the third cup, every time it would be filled with blood. Subhanallah. As if Allah wanted Muslim to die thirsty, just like his master, Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. And then he prayed 2 units. They're about to kill him. Muslim all of a sudden looks towards Medina. He says, "Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah, la ta'ti ila al-Kufa, غدر بي أهل الكوفة." My master Aba Abdullah, do not come towards Kufa, for its people have deceived us. People were waiting downstairs. The people of Kufa had gathered around the mansion, wanting Muslim ibn Aqil. They told him, wait a couple of minutes and you will see Muslim ibn Aqil. As they were waiting, all of a sudden they saw a corpse, a headless corpse, fall from the roof of Qasr al-Amara towards the ground. They saw that this is the corpse of Muslim ibn Aqil. They put ropes around his feet and they began to drag him all the way around in the streets of Kufa. It was in Muharram, maybe the 2nd, the 3rd of Muharram. Imam Hussein alayhi salam had already arrived in Karbala. When news of the death of Muslim ibn Aqil reached Imam Hussein alayhi salam, Imam Hussein sat and he began to cry and weep for his cousin Muslim ibn Aqil. And then he said, "Bring me Hamida ibn Muslim, the daughter of Muslim Hamida. Bring her. I want to speak to her." They brought her Hamida. Hamida was 4 years old, 5 years old. He held Hamida. He put her on his lap. He started brushing her head. He said, "Bunayya, ana abuki. I am your father from now on. Wa banati akhawatuki, and my daughters are your sisters." Hamida looked towards Imam Hussein. She told him, "My uncle, you're treating me like an orphan. Are you trying to give me some bad news about my father?" Imam Hussein could not control his tears. Now fast forward a little bit. On the day of Ashura, Imam Hussein is about to enter the battlefield. Khalas, he's ready. He has his armor, he has his sword, he has his turban. He's about to enter the battlefield. His daughter Sukayna calls him, Abba ya Hussein, one moment. There's something that I want to ask you." He said, "Yes, my dear daughter." He came down from his horse. "Yes, my dear daughter." She said, "My dear father, remember when you heard news of Muslim ibn Aqil, you called his daughter Hamida and you put her in your lap and you brushed her head. Remember that?" She said, "Yes, I remember." She said, "My dear father, an hour from now, who will see me in his lap? Who will brush my head? And who will say that I am your father and my daughters are your sisters?" Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون والعاقبة للمتقين. نسألك اللهم وندعوك باسمك العلي الأعظم. This is a sacred night, my dear brothers and sisters. It's the night of Arafah. There's special a'mal, there's dua, there's ziyarah. Tomorrow is the day of a'mal. It's the day of ziyarah. Do not forget dua Arafah. Do not forget the ziyarah of Imam Hussein tomorrow. You know, as millions are heading towards the land of Arafah, tomorrow there are millions more heading towards Karbala al-Muqaddasa to perform the ziyarah of Imam Hussein on the day of Arafah. Well, there are many going to Hajj. In Arafah, there are millions headed towards the one who sacrificed his life for Hajj. The one who sacrificed his life for Salah and Sawm and La ilaha illallah. Don't forget the ziyarah of Imam Hussein tomorrow. نسألك اللهم وندعوك باسمك العلي الأعظم الأعز الأجل الأكرم يا الله. اللهم لا تدع لنا ذنبا إلا غفرته ولا هما إلا فرجته ولا عيبا إلا سترته ولا خوفا إلا آمنته ولا رزقا إلا بسطته ولا شملا إلا جمعته ولا مرضا إلا شفيته ولا غائبا إلا حفظته وأدنيته ولا حاجة من حوائج الدنيا والآخرة لك فيها رضا ولنا فيها صلاح إلا قضيتها ويسرتها يا أرحم الراحمين. We've been requested to recite dua for Abbas Ali Kamran, the son of Ali Hassan Kamran, and the grandson of Kamran Zakir. May Allah give him a speedy recovery, inshallah. For the sake of Muslim ibn Aqeel, this person, a speedy recovery. ولأرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات نقرأ سورة الفاتحة مع الصلوات. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Ya Hussein, 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 Ya Hussein. ہوا کے دوش پہ گونجی جو ایک نئی صدا سلام علیک ابن رسول شاہ خدا. خدا کا شکر کے دیدار آپ کا تو ہوا. تمام اسیروں نے دیکھا سوئے درے کوفہ. ارے جو لاش لٹکی ہے در پر وہ تھر تھراتی ہے اور سلام کرنے کی آواز اس سے آتی ہے. تو تڑپ کے نیزے سے فرق حسین نے یہ کہا علیکم اے وطن آبارو قتیل جفا. ارے ادب سے عابدے بیماریوں ہوئے گویا. ارے قبول کیجئے مسلم چچا سلام میرا. اور سنا جو حضرت مسلم بن عقیل کا نام تو ایک بی بی لگی لاش سے یہ کرنے کلام. ارے کی زوجہ مسلم نے یہ فغاں. ارے میرے دونوں لال کہاں کی زوجہ مسلم نے یہ فغاں. ہے میرے دونوں لال کی زوجہ مسلم نے یہ فغاں. ہے میرے دونوں لال. احوال کرو کچھ ان کا بیان. ہے میرے دونوں لال کہاں کی زوجہ مسلم نے یہ فغاں. ہے میرے دونوں لال کہاں کی زوجہ مسلم نے یہ فغاں. ہے میرے دونوں لال. ہے میرے دونوں لال کہاں تھے ساتھ جو میرے دو دلبر. تھے ساتھ جو میرے دو دلبر. وہ فدیہ کیے میں نے حق پر. تھے ساتھ جو میرے دو دلبر. وہ فدیہ کیے میں نے حق پر. جو ساتھ تمہارے تھے کہاں. ہے میرے دونوں لال کہاں کی زوجہ مسلم نے یہ فغاں. ہے میرے دونوں لال. ہے میرے دونوں لال کہاں. میں بستی بستی جاؤں گی. میں بستی بستی گی اور ڈھونڈ کے ان کو لاؤں گی. میں بستی بستی جاؤں گی اور ڈھونڈ کے ان کو لاؤں گی. بتلائیے کچھ تو ان کا نشان. ہے میرے دونوں لال کہاں کی زوجہ مسلم نے یہ فغاں. ہے میرے دونوں لال. ہے میرے دونوں لال کہاں. کب تک وہ رہے زیرِ سایہ. کب تک وہ رہے سایہ. اور کس کو ترس ان پر آیا. کب تک وہ رہے زیرِ سایہ. اور کس کو ترس ان پر آیا. کس گھر میں گئے اب تک وہ مہمان. ہے میرے دونوں لال کہاں کی زوجہ مسلم نے یہ فغاں. ہے میرے دونوں لال. ہے میرے دونوں لال کہاں. بس اتنا بتا دیجئے والی. بس اتنا بتا دنیا تو نہیں ان سے خالی. بس اتنا بتا دیجئے والی. دنیا تو نہیں ان سے خالی. کیا مل گئی ان کو جاغ امان. ہے میرے دونوں لال کہاں کی زوجہ مسلم نے یہ فغاں. ہے میرے دونوں لال. ہے میرے دونوں لال. دی لاشِ مسلم نے یہ صدا. دی لاشِ مسلم نے یہ صدا. دے صبر کی طاقت تجھ کو خدا. دی لاشے مسلم نے یہ صدا، دے صبر کی طاقت تجھ کو خدا، ہو جائے گا تجھ پر جلد عیاں، ہے میرے دونوں لال کہاں کی زوجہ مسلم نے یہ فغاں، ہے میرے دونوں لال کہاں، ہے میرے دونوں لال کہاں، کوفے میں انیس سے اہل حرم، کوفے میں انیس سے اہل حرم، تھے نالکنا وقت ماتم، کوفے میں انیس سے اہل حرم، تھے نالکنا وقت ماتم، سن کر یہ صدا میں شرطایا، ہے میرے دونوں لال کہاں کی زوجہ مسلم نے یہ فغاں، ہے میرے دونوں لال کہاں کی زوجہ مسلم نے یہ فغاں، ہے میرے دونوں لال کہاں، ہے میرے دونوں لال کہاں، یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین، اللہم صلی علی محمد و آل محمد۔
توجہ زیارت، السلام علیکم نبی اللہ، السلام علیکم رسول اللہ، السلام علیکم حجت اللہ، السلام علیکم باعث الہدا، السلام علیکم حبیب اللہ، السلام علیکم رحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ، السلام علیکم ابا عبداللہ، السلام علیکم ابن رسول اللہ، السلام علیکم ابن امیر المؤمنین وابن سید الوسیین، السلام علیکم ابن فاطمہ الزہراء سیدتی نساء العالمین، السلام علیکم مولا انصارک المستشہدین معک جمیع رحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ، السلام علیکم مولا غریب الغرباء، السلام علیکم مولا الضعفاء والفقراء، السلام علیکم مغیظ الشیعۃ والزوار فی یوم الجزا، السلام علیکم انیس النفوس، السلام علیکم المدفون بعرضۃ، السلام علیکم باغ سبعۃ امنائک الاربعۃ ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ، السلام علیکم مولا صاحب العصر والزمان، الامان الامان الامان، السلام علیکم خلیفۃ الرحمن، السلام علیکم امام الانس والجان، السلام علیکم شریک القرآن، السلام علیکم کامل الکفر والطغیان، السلام علیکم دافع الظلم والعدوان، وجہ اللہ تعالیٰ فرجک وسال اللہ تعالیٰ مخرجک وظہورت ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ، اللہم صلی اللہ علیہ محمد۔ زیارت وارثہ، السلام علیکم وارث آدم صفوات اللہ، السلام علیکم وارث نوح نبی اللہ، السلام علیکم وارث ابراہیم خلیل اللہ، السلام علیکم وارث موسیٰ کلیم اللہ، السلام علیکم وارث عیسیٰ روح اللہ، السلام علیکم وارث محمد حبیب اللہ، السلام علیکم وارث امیر المؤمنین ولی اللہ، السلام علیکم ابن محمد المصطفیٰ، السلام علیکم ابن علی المرتضیٰ، السلام علیکم ابن فاطمہ الزہراء، السلام علیکم ابن خدیجۃ الکبریٰ، السلام علیکم ثار الامن ثار والوتر الموتور، اشہد انک قد اقمت الصلاۃ واتیت الزکاۃ وامرت بالمعروف ونہیت عن المنکر وطاعت اللہ ورسولہ حتی طاق الیقین، فلعان اللہ امة قتلتک ولعان اللہ امة ظلمتک ولعان اللہ امة سمیت بذلک فرضیت بہ، یا مولایا یا ابا عبداللہ اشہد انک کنت نورا فی الاصلاب الشامخ والارحام المطہرہ، لم تنجس کالجاہلیۃ بانجاسها ولم تلبس كمدلہمۃ ثیابها، واشهد انك من دعائم الدین وارکان المؤمنین، واشهد انك الامام البر التقی الرضی الزکی الہادی المہدی، واشهد ان الائمة من ولدك کلمۃ التقوی علام الہدى العروۃ الوثقی والحجۃ علی اہل الدنیا، اشہد اللہ وملائکتہ وانبیاءہ ورسولہ انی بکم مؤمن بکم موقن بشرائع دینی وخواتیم عملی وقلبی لقلبکم سلم وامری لامرکم متبع، صلوات اللہ علیکم وعلی ارواحکم وعلی اجسادکم وعلی اجسامکم وعلی شاہدکم وعلی غائبکم وعلی ظاہرکم وعلی باطنکم، اللہم صلی علی محمد
محمد و آل محمد باوجود
अस्सलाम।